The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the host of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, the amusement industry, and the business of fun. Here are your hosts, Carsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Hu.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover Cedar Fair, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. And I got to tell you, this week I feel like a kid on Christmas. I am halfway out the door for my CoasterMania weekend. I literally, right before we started recording, I got the notification that my boarding pass was ready. So I am nearly ready to depart sunny Florida and head for America's Rock and Roller Coast, and I can't wait.
Starting to feel a little real now, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, cool. Well, we know for sure what ride you won't be able to ride at CoasterMania because the park didn't announce it, but they changed the itinerary online on CoasterMania's website, and unfortunately,
not to bring it down a notch or anything.
Yeah, right.
No, but you see,
everything from
lucky for me, I kind of planned for this. I kind of planned after we heard, the ride was down for an extended closure. At that point, I wasn't even considering going to CoasterMania. And as we talked about last time, it just the way the cards worked, I was able to go. But I'm really just using this as I'm going to scratch the itch. Like, I really want to get to the park. Obviously, Top Throw 2 is just the cherry on top, but I really just want to get back to the park. So I'm using this trip, this very quick weekend trip, as like I got it out of my system. I went to the park. I spent 2 days. I'm good. And then hopefully later in the summer when the ride reopens, that's when I'll go back for my longer trip. So while it is a bummer that it does seem I will not get on Top Thrill 2 for CoasterMania, I'm okay with it because new rides take a lot of effort to open.
Yep.
They always have issues. And at the end of the day, rather be on the safe side. They're going to work the issues out and it will eventually reopen. And yeah, you just got to get through the growing pains.
Everybody's just got to be patient.
Yeah.
I mean, we were patient for how many years, Evan? When we literally sat and wondered what was going on with, the
I'm gonna be honest,
the ride and stuff.
Patience is not this community's strong suit.
Yeah, we've got good patience.
We do.
Unfortunately, a lot of the enthusiasts and whatever you want to call them are just good night, man. Every 5 minutes, like they'll see like something move on the track, and they'll be like, "Oh, gotta post another video.
I can't even open video." I can't open Twitter anymore. I can't open Twitter. It is
insane.
constant.
Like, give the park some freaking space and Zimperla some freaking space, and just give it like 2 weeks, okay? Just let it roll and let's see what happens. Like, I know it's frustrating, but you got. It'll be worth it in the end. Evan and I, yes, we've ridden it, and we're not chomping at the bit. Yes, of course we want to ride it again, but it's just give it some time. It's worth it. It's well worth the wait. It's very intense and exciting and everything. But like what Kyle said, let the park figure it out. Let Zimperla figure it out, and safety's 110%. The number one priority before anybody gets to ride it and stuff. And it's good that it's not just sitting on the transfer track or whatever. And they're moving trains around and they're testing at night and whatever. And it's good to see that things are maybe progressing. We don't know, but I mean that's all we can see. Like, we see with our eyes.
At least it's not sitting stagnant.
Exactly. And there's not really, I know on the rundown, we've got an update for Top Throw 2, and there's not a whole lot of updates.
When I wrote that down on our show rundown, it was literally this. It was literally this TED talk because I also want to mention all the speculation online. Whatever you think is going on, the park's never going to tell you. Zamperla's never going to tell you. So just shut up, please.
Right.
You're never going to find out what the answer is. All this, maybe. It's going to get
Everybody
fixed.
became
Everybody's going to be happy.
everybody became an engineer, just like Evan. They're like, oh, I'm an engineer. God. I know exactly what's going on. It's the wheels, it's the horseshoes, it's the whatever. So it's just give it some time.
It's not even just this ride. Anytime anything happens in the coaster community, even when a ride is announced, everybody magically becomes engineers. Everybody magically went 5 years to school and $100,000 in debt. Yeah. That was very suspicious.
They're like, specific. Oh, you know what? That could have went a lot faster, or that could have went a lot higher, or whatever. Like, no, like, dude, is it your pocketbook on the line? Yeah,
literally. Just go to school first before. I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion, but like, good God, these people online that just think they know everything.
Give it a little bit. Just give it a little bit. The park is working, they're working 24/7. As you can see, they're launching trains at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I mean, they're really, working on it and stuff and everything. And I mean, that's pretty much the update that I have is, the wheels are back on, which is good. I mean, that's a good sign. When they weren't there, now, they're back again.
At least we know they have the ability to test if they want to, right?
Right. Well, the thing is, though,
really test without wheels.
Right. The thing is, though, I will say I do like that Zamperla installed the track. It's almost like the B&M track where literally the train rests pretty much on its frame when it goes onto the transfer or the transfer track or the storage shed, whatever, or storage track, whatever you want to call it. Which is nice because they literally don't have to worry about the wheels making contact with the track, which is cool. So literally they can undo all the wheels and do whatever they need to do and whatever, and not really have to take the train completely off the track. Because we were talking about this of if it was a Millennium Force issue or something, they probably, I don't know for sure, but I would assume they would probably have to take the train completely off the track completely and remove whatever they needed to remove and then go on for their stuff.
In general, it'd be a bigger pain in the butt. So
right. Yeah. So I'm super excited. Switching gears just a little bit, I'm actually pretty excited about this whole please excuse your mess on the midway right in front of Power Tower area. It's been like that for just a little bit. Have we even talked about it on here? There was just a square of new concrete that said, please excuse our mess. It was like the size of a closet. It's like, what the hell is this? I was like, oh, and what people mess? Were like, maybe they're going to build like, well, we actually thought, because we saw the electrical coming out of the concrete, the conduit a little bit. We were like, ooh, I wonder if it's going to be like a bar or something.
I was all in on a new bar or a new icy stand.
Yeah, a new icy stand. We've got 40 different flavors for you to try, Right. But yeah, so we don't know exactly what it is just yet. It's coming together. I did see that there were some people walking around in polos at the end of the night when they would come in and start installing more pieces, and they say E3 on them, and I believe the E3 is like the E3 Entertainment or whatever that the company is that runs the arcade and the Cedar Point arcade and stuff. So I'm curious to see if it's some kind of like arcade game. Kyle, maybe it's that trivia game that we were going to try, or the one where it was the squares on the floor where you had to like not hit like the certain squares or you're like out kind of thing. It kind of looks like that. It also, some people were saying that it might be like a human claw machine. I don't know what that looks like. Other people are saying that it's going to be a little skydiving thing. I don't know if it's big enough for a giant fan to have on the skydive. Like, it's like, I don't know, but
I don't know. I can guarantee whatever it is, it was Cedar Fair executives were walking around IAPA and they saw whatever it is and went, I want 10.
You know what's funny?
All of our parks right now.
You know what's funny is, Kyle and I, we did, the IAPA floor and stuff and everything. And I know I walked pretty much the whole entire square foot yardage or whatever. I don't remember seeing anything that looked vaguely like this at all. So I'm just like,
because they've started building it, right?
Yes.
I mean, it kind of does look like a claw machine. There is a little jib crane in there. I don't know if that's for construction or if that's what's actually going to be.
That's what threw me, because I was like, huh. And there's a bunch of cool lighting and like moving lights and stuff and everything inside the also, box and stuff. So
I don't mean this like negatively, but like, why did they put it there of all places? Like, it's so random. Like,
maybe they, who knows, they could have did a study and like that's a lot of foot traffic and
well, no shit. Of course, it's a lot of foot traffic.
They could have honestly though, maybe it's because of like electrical and it's really easy to just boom boom kind of thing. But really, they could have just put it in the plot of like grass that's going right now where Scrambler used to be, and they've just been like just a little bit further down the. But yeah,
or
so
like if it is a game thing, I don't know, maybe by the Midway Games, just an idea, maybe.
Right. Stay tuned for the to our Facebook page, and it's been getting added every single day. They keep adding more and more. So hopefully, maybe by CoasterMania,
maybe we'll be able to get for CoasterMania. We'll get a preview.
Maybe we'll be able to get Kyle on the human if it's a crane machine or something. Maybe we can start that Patreon and we can start $5 or whatever. We'll get Kyle on there. We don't even know what it is or whatever, but
yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to crowdfund because I'm not paying for that.
We don't even know what it is. It's probably a dance square. I don't freaking know. I don't know. But
Kyle, you came to Cedar Point hoping to ride Top Thrill 2. Well, sorry, we can't provide that, but you know what we can provide? A karaoke booth.
I would do a karaoke booth. That'd be fun.
Yeah, right. You'd be like, dude, that was so awesome. I'm totally moving back from Florida to Ohio again just because of that.
Get him in the Grand Pavilion first, and then he'll warm up to the karaoke.
Yeah. Give him some boozy drinks, some souvenir boozy drinks and some Red Bull, and he'll do anything.
Hey, I believe the offer still stands. Kyle's begging somebody to bring him a Red Bull in the middle of the day.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I'd be fine with actually, I'd prefer coffee. Just someone bring me a coffee.
Hey, Starbucks is in the park. That makes it easy.
Oh, yeah, that can work.
It is very.
Hey, what's your Starbucks order, Kyle? Just for inquiring minds.
I don't go to Starbucks.
It's probably like I want an extra hot triple vanilla latte with extra foam and non-fat and whipped cream on it.
I don't go to Starbucks that often. Normally when I do though, I will get a salted caramel cream cold brew. Ooh. Those are pretty good.
You hear that, everybody? Salted caramel cream cold brew.
Normally though, I just make coffee at home, and Carsten knows because during IAPA week, he was in charge of making my coffee for me every morning.
Yeah. And let the listeners know, how was your coffee every single morning until I left?
Every morning it was perfect.
The perfect right about here. Like because when I did it the first time, because you like set your cup out and I'm like, oh wow. He's like, yeah, we got to get up super early. We got to get ready to go. Whatever. I'm like, can I do your creamer in the morning and like make your coffee and stuff? He goes, don't screw it up. Like, all right. Challenge accepted. So then I literally I got up super early. Like I think he said he wanted to be up at like 7 a.m. or something. So I got up at like 6:30, made sure I got my stuff all ready to go. And then literally like 10 minutes before 7 or whatever, got his coffee out, made him his coffee, made sure I don't know. It wasn't like I measured it or anything. It's just the barista in me was like, this is a perfect amount. And then I'm like, here you go.
Like, give you a
and you're like, oh wow, thanks, sweetie. And then all of a sudden he takes a drink and goes, oh my God. I'm like, what? Is it too much cream? Not, what's going on? He's like, it's perfect. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, it would have been terrible if it gotten screwed up, because then I would have had to go to the Wawa that's literally right across the street from SeaWorld and just get one.
Yeah. So every single day he's like, dude, that was awesome. He's like, every single morning you got to do that. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. So no, I had fun. It was good.
What are we talking about here? We got way off the rails.
We were talking about that. But anyway, let's get back on the rails. Evan and I were able to ride the brand new coaster down at Holiday World and also Kings Island. But first, Evan, you're going to talk a little bit about Kings Island. We were able to ride. You want to talk a little bit more about it? Because I can't remember the name of it. Yeah.
Well, so we were obviously on our way to Holiwood Nights at Holiday World, but we have literally no choice but to drive right past Kings Island on the way there. So, of course, we had to make a pit stop on Thursday evening at Kings Island to check out Snoopy's Soapbox Racers at Kings Island and of course, the rest of Camp Snoopy. Mm-hmm. And, well, so first off, the area looks great. They did a fantastic job. Cute little playground, nice little food place, which we tried. And I mean, without going into too much detail, the food place is definitely geared towards little Jimmy can't figure out what kind of food he wants, so you get him chicken tenders. Like, yep. It's that level. It's chicken tenders and hot dogs and like some sort of special cheesy hot dog. It was fine. It was good. And it's on the meal plan, typical entree and a side, or you could get three sides. So yeah, that was fine. And then Snoopy's Soapbox Racers was their brand new coaster. We rode that. It is Fastlane eligible, and your Prestige Fastlane works there. Just throwing that out there. And yeah, it's super cute. There's maybe to the adult mind, annoying, but definitely cute to the kids. In-station audio that just repeats over and over and over. I think it's Franklin.
And the winner is you.
The winner is always you, according to Franklin.
Yeah,
and it gets a little annoying. I gotta admit, but the little kids definitely think it's cute. The ride itself is super cute, smooth, fun. That the individual cars on the train are themed to each character. And in Peanuts, I think we got the Charlie Brown car, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cute. The whole area looks great. I think it's a huge win for Kings Island. I mean, you can't go wrong. I can't think of any other kids/family areas at any amusement park, especially in the United States, that has 3 like full-size roller coasters, plus a dark ride, plus a playground, plus 3 or 4 or 5 food stands.
Yeah.
Plus blue ice cream. It
really
works.
They've got a lot of kid coasters there too. They've got 4.
That's what I mean. And
like just thinking about that.
And the family
4
coaster.
kids coasters at that park.
Yeah. And then it's not that far of a walk to go to like Mystic Timbers, which was originally thought to be more in the family thrill section, but I think it ended up being a little more thrilling than people anticipated. But Kings Island just again proves that their kids area is top notch, always is going to be one of the best in the world. I know Dollywood's been the one that's been winning that award lately with Wildwood Grove, and Big Bear Mountain helps that. But Kings Island definitely, they're giving Dollywood a run for their money, and everything looks so good. And yeah, I really like it. It's a fun ride. I did end up liking Good Gravy a little better, but that was just my own taste and just the sheer funny stupidity of Good Gravy. That's not a knock on Kings Island.
Yeah, but, It was a fun time, and
then we had a great time at Kings Island in general. I mean, we got on Diamondback Beast, Mystic Timbers, Orion. I got on Flight of Fear, Blue Racer, and Adventure Express on top of that. I was there for like 3 hours. It was a great quick visit.
Yeah, so it was really, really good. Again, kudos to the park, and it was nice to get another coaster credit under the belt. And the beat goes on, And
then the beat went on about 3 hours, we'll say southwest of Kings Island to Holiwood Nights, which not Cedar Fair, but God, that was a great time.
yeah, that's always a good event for sure.
Yeah,
but speaking of a good event,
we kind of started talking about CoasterMania already, but yeah,
Kyle,
we could just mention it again. CoasterMania this week.
You want to talk a little bit about the changes since Top Thrill 2 has been completely removed from the itinerary?
Yeah, so unfortunately, since Top Thrill 2 has been removed, there have been some changes to the itinerary, so I will go through it from start to finish again very quickly. From 7 to 10 is check-in. That remains unchanged at the Magnum Gate. The Magnum Gate will open at 7, and then exclusive ride time on Gatekeeper Millennium Force will take place from 7:30 to 9 a.m., and from 7:30 to 10 a.m., exclusive ride time will take place on Magnum. And then from 9 to 10, we have exclusive ride time on Raptor, Valraven, and Blue Streak. And it does seem that Blue Streak is the substitution for Top Thrill 2.
I don't think any of us guessed Blue Streak when we were naming
Truth be told, I thought it was already on the schedule.
Honestly, I'm a little upset that it wasn't Wild Mouse. I only rode that once last year. I want to get some laps on it.
That would have been
all right. If us 3 get into a car on Wild Mouse, we are going to freaking spin.
Yeah.
So we're making that happen.
The cheese car. We'll make sure we ask for the cheese.
Actually, I rode it twice. I rode it once during the day with my mom, and then I rode it again Carsten, with you and Jared that night, I believe. I think.
I couldn't remember it.
Anyway,
so.
I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I was there that night. I was there that night too.
Yeah. But I think you left before this. I think you got food and
maybe.
dipped.
I don't know.
Anyway, way off tangent here. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is when the souvenir distribution will take place, so you can pick up the exclusive pin and made-to-throw poster underneath Corkscrew. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. is when the CoasterMania cruise will take place, and as discussed in our last episode, that is whatever time slot you get when you check in. This is the next big change. From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., the photo op and tour, the venue has been changed from the Top Thrill 2 infield to the Cedar Point sign and animation shops and the Steel Vengeance infield. Again, that is continuous. You can arrive anytime between 1 and 3, but it has changed from Top Thrill 2 to Steel Vengeance's infield and the animation shop.
I'm excited
for the Steel Vengeance infield.
Yeah.
Well, that and also like the sign shop. Like I know we get to see it during Winter Chill Out, but it'd be really cool to see it like actually during the season.
Yeah, when it's more maybe active.
Right. They'll be like
instead of not used for storage, but
you can't see this. This is next year's sign that we're already making.
You can't look at that. That's the sign for the outdoor skydiving human claw machine karaoke booth.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right. After that is dinner from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And then after that is the Q&A session, which will take place from 7 to 8 p.m. And I'm assuming this is still going to stay the same, although it used to be described as a chance to talk about Top Thrill 2, and that has just been removed and replaced with part Q&A with Cedar Point leadership team. But that will take place at the Lakeside Convention Center, and you can enter through the Lakeside Pavilion. Then we get to ERT. From 10 to 11, you have Wilderness Run, Woodstock Express, and Gemini. And then from 10:45-ish to 12:30, you have Steel Vengeance and Maverick. And that's it.
And there is that ish.
Yeah, it literally says ish. Like, so if Maverick's queue is clear at 10:15, it will open at 10:15. If it's not cleared till 11, it's not going to open till 11.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying there.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of their best guess based off of how busy it's been.
I don't know. I always love CoasterMania. I love the obviously the ERT and stuff and everything. I love the camaraderie that you can hang out with your friends and things like that. And it'll be really cool to like, you know, you get the souvenir. The souvenir is always like the marquee.
The Maple poster. I cannot wait for.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what the pin looks like. You know, the pin pin is always really cool. And like I said,
I think my favorite thing about CoasterMania is not necessarily anything having to do with the rides, or it's just the fact that you're there for such a long day and you could actually just like take your time and just kind of hang out and enjoy the vibe of Cedar Point. Like, it's not, we're up here just for the evening, got to ride. It's, you could actually just enjoy being there. Which, I mean, being season pass holders, we kind of do anyways. I'm totally okay going up there and riding like a ride and eating, but I don't know, just that feeling of just like, being in the park, enjoying its presence, enjoying your friend's presence, and just not feeling rushed.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. I can't wait.
Yes.
It'll be
nice to hang out at Cedar Point with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Instead of virtually or in the hot, sunny Florida.
Yeah. Be nice that you're finally coming to see us.
I know. I even looked at the weather, and it looks like it's going to be in like the 70s. I might need a hoodie, guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It
is going to be windy. It is going to be windy. I might have a hoodie on myself in the morning.
This wasn't in our show notes or anything, but if anyone's going to CoasterMania and is curious about all the food locations and what is good for like to eat with your meal plan and everything, Kyle, this would be good for you, since you're going to get the all day dining.
Yep, I'm listening.
They have on cedarpoint.com. If you go to cedarpoint.com/dining, you can go down to the bottom, and not to the bottom, just scroll down just a little bit. Click on the dining guide, and it literally lists every single thing that's on the meal plan. That just got like reposted because I know it said it was coming soon in the beginning of the season, but now you can kind of see like what is an option and things like that. So
And it spells it out really clearly too. It doesn't just say, "Oh, you could go to Farmhouse and get an entree and a side." It says what entrees are available there and what sides are available there. I believe, right?
Yes, yeah. So just to give you just a quick little rundown, for the Grand Pavilion, it says you get one entree and one side and one dinner roll, and then the entrees are that are listed as a spiced rubbed chicken drumsticks. There's fresh fried fish. There is the ginger soy carved steak, honey glazed chicken drumsticks, island meatballs, funnel cake shrimp, hand breaded chicken tenders, or if you don't want any of that, you can do the side option, which is the 3-side platter, and the sides and it includes all the sides, and it even includes like if you're vegetarian or if you're vegan, they have like little symbols for that too, which is cool. But they have steak fries, tropical and pineapple.
And they always might have more than what's listed here. I mean, we know that the Grand Pavilion has a sandwich now. That's so freaking good.
And they also have the nachos upstairs too.
So, the sandwich is on the meal plan, but it's not listed there because it's kind of a rotating-ish menu item. So, be on the lookout for that they might have new and different stuff.
But yeah, so really cool. It's also interesting because they listed, I know, like when I went to Panda Express, like in the beginning of the season, you said they were supposed to get like a bowl, and this is listed as one entree plate with rice or chow mein and egg roll and a spring roll. So I don't know. But anyway, check that out. They got good food.
They got really good food. And it's a really good deal getting that all day dining. It's what, $40, $45, something like that.
You get change, like it goes up and down, I think.
Yeah, but at any rate, it's in that neighborhood, and you can eat every 90 minutes. So,
and if you get if you get the plus version, then you can get like the snack, and then you can have like fun.
But you also get a drink too with each.
Yeah, you get a drink as well on that, which is really cool too.
And it's already only $15 a day to get all day drink.
Like you can get,
it's so damn expensive.
You can get like a ice cream, or you can get chips and salsa, or you can get popcorn, or you can get cotton candy.
Jeez.
I mean, yeah, you can get nachos or
pretty much every food item in the park. There's some way to get it for free.
And also Cedar Point Shores is also listed on the very bottom of it too. It's really good. It's really easy. You can print it out if you're
and I think somewhere in the park has pamphlets that also has that same information. I can't tell you where though. Maybe it's at each food location.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. You might be able to get one at guest services, but don't.
Maybe. I know I've seen those pamphlets around though. I just don't know where to get them. Anyways, speaking about free food and coaster enthusiast events, I'm going to change gears from the Cedar Fair train a little bit, just because Carsten and I did get to go to Holiwood Nights, Holiday World's premier, and I mean premier, coaster enthusiast event this past weekend. It was both of our first time there since 2021, so it was great to be back at the park. I know Holiday World's always been one of my favorite parks. You got to love the family-owned places that really cater to the guest. And they really roll out the red carpet. So much free food, so much ERT, a great behind the scenes tour. The weather held out for us. Not that they had anything to do with that, but that was awesome. So I love Voyage. That's Voyage at night, trimless. You can't go wrong with that.
That's the only time that you'll be able to ride it trimless too, which is
it's basically the only time you can ride it at night.
That too, yeah.
Park closes so darn early.
Like late at night. Like I'm talking like 11, 12 a.m. like late at night, which is
this is a park that usually closes at like 7 in the summer.
Yeah, so. It's so cool because like you'll be like riding, even if you ride it in the very front seat or whatever, it's so darn it's like literally pitch black. You have no idea where you're going, and
in the front seat you cannot see the track ahead of you. It's absolutely nuts. And I mean, God, obviously it's Holiday World, so they had to give us Thanksgiving dinner, and especially in accordance with their Good Gravy roller coaster, which was absolutely adorable and stupid and funny, and riding in gravy boat trains and go riding through a cranberry sauce can, which we all had to scream in, which was funny each and every time. I think we rode Good Gravy more than any ride this weekend.
I think we wrote it like almost 50 times, like as a group. But
it sure seemed like it. I mean, it was, and it God, I mean the amount of theming that they put into that stupid little coaster.
Yeah,
no, it was awesome.
Great.
And if you're not aware, Holiwood Nights, it sounds like Hollywood as in, movies Hollywood, although they don't spell it like that. They spell it like Holiday World. But they theme each year to a different movie. So this year was Hunger Games, and they didn't do anything like, they just kind of drop little puns here and there, but they give away a pin at the end of the event, and it looked like the Mockingjay pin, but it was a gravy boat instead of the Mockingjay.
Right.
I mean,
so it's always
stupid, cute stuff like that.
Yeah. It's always a little play, a little play.
Yes.
Things like that.
So, and they'll, I can't even think of any, but like the food will say something like President Snow's chocolate bars. I don't know. Like it's not that they don't do it that terribly, but you know what I mean. They're always really cutesy with the naming, and each of us just got randomly assigned a district on our like credential lanyard.
We never found out
what nothing to do with anything. I was in District 9, which was the Voyage, which was very fitting because that's like my all-time favorite ride.
And we don't know what it meant though.
Yeah, we don't know what it meant, but
right.
I love Voyage. I love Legend. I love Raven. Thunderbird is easily my favorite wing coaster until King's Dominions. Maybe wing coaster opens next year.
Yeah,
that's something
we're not even talking about all the good stuff that's happening. We'll have to do that next week when we talk about CoasterMania, and then talk about more Cedar Fair news with the track and things like that.
Quick one sentence. Green launching something B&M track has showed up at King's Dominion. I think it's a wing rider. We all know it's a wing rider at this point.
Hey, I mean, if it's a launch one, I mean, I'm all for it because.
Sorry, Thunderbird.
Yeah, you never. I mean, maybe who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
But yeah, if you haven't been to Holiday World and you want an idea of whatever Kings of Dominions getting, go to Holiday World, ride these kick-ass wooden coasters, and also ride easily the best wing rider in existence, because it's a great preview of what Kings of Dominions going to get, and probably even a little bit smaller than what Kings of Dominions going to get. So very exciting, Holiday World. Yeah, the only thing I can complain about with that park is the drive to get to the park. It absolutely sucks driving through Kentucky and Indiana.
Right.
Friend of the podcast hit a deer on the way there. So, just be aware of that.
The deer's not, but he is okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
So
the most exhausting weekend of the year by far. But
inquiring minds would love to know. Good Gravy or Snoopy's Soapbox Racers?
Good Gravy.
Good Gravy? That's what I heard too.
Now, it's
very close.
It has almost nothing to do with the actual ride, though. It has everything to do with just everything Holiday World put into it. And that's not to say like, Kings Island should have put more money into Snoopy. No, they shouldn't. It's a dumb ride. It doesn't deserve the attention that Holiday World gave it, but Holiday World gave it to it. So, and it's just fun and cute. And it's good. It's such a perfect ride for Holiday World. It's so perfect. And Kyle, I don't even know if you've been there before, but it got rid of a huge eyesore of a former attraction that was sitting there abandoned for 10 years.
Something like that. I went for the first time in 2022, in the summer of 2022, and I just went for a day, one day.
Okay.
But it replaced Pilgrim's Plunge, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes, and that station is still being used. They used the whole queue area, but now there's actually something there. I mean, as recently as 2021, at least the last time I was there, the hill for Pilgrim's Plunge wasn't there anymore, but the station was still there. The trough was still there. The boat was still sitting in the station. You could see it just underneath a little garage door. It looked terrible. It did not look like Holiday World, what they strive for. And now they fixed up the area. It looks beautiful. And they added a new coffee place. It's amazing. And you could get Thanksgiving dinner in the middle of July. I mean, come on.
That is where we ate. I do believe that is where me and Dean ate.
Plymouth Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
Underneath Voyage.
Uh-huh.
What did you think of Voyage? Because I kind of remember you guys being there, but I don't remember you saying much about it.
Yeah, honestly, Evan, I loved the Voyage, but it was kind of one of those situations where I wasn't sure if we were gonna get on it or not. We went to the park, and it was like the hottest day of the year. It was like 114 degrees or something stupid like that, like just blisteringly, miserably hot. So we go to the park, and Voyage isn't open. We're like, oh man, whatever. Maybe it's just gonna open later. So we hit Legend, Raven, Thunderbird. I think we did the Log Flume, and Voyage still isn't open. And now we're starting to get a little nervous. And we noticed at this point that there's a train on the brake run, and there's maintenance guys working on the brake run. And this is like noon. And, like you said, Holiday World isn't open very late. So we're like, oh, man, it would be so easy for them to just not open it today. And, like, you wouldn't even be able to fault them because they're actively completing maintenance. But lo and behold, after we ate lunch, it miraculously reopened, and I think we rode it like 4 or 5 times, and oh my god, it was so good. I don't know if I'll go
insane.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go as far as you and say it's like my favorite ride ever, but it's definitely like in the top 10. Like, it's very, very good.
Yeah, it was my number one. I think, being that it's been a couple years and I've gotten a couple years older since riding it last, it beats me up a little bit more than maybe I want it to. I would still probably put Wildcat above it, but oh my god, yeah, easily top 10. And it's funny you should mention the maybe it won't open thing, because the first time I ever went to that park, and honestly one of the biggest reasons I fell in love with the place was the first time I was there was 2015, the year Thunderbird opened. And we get there, and they're one of those parks that's still up front will have a board that says all rides are expected to operate today except. So we're walking in the gate of our first ever day at Holiday World, and on its opening year we see all rides will operate today except Thunderbird and the Legend. We're like, what the? That's your brand new coaster, and then one more of your 4 coasters. What the hell, guys? I mean, we were pissed. Oh my god, it was awful. So we're like, well, we got to make the best of this. So we go and ride Voyage. It's fun, it's awesome. Then we go in the water park, and we could see from the old Hyena Falls water slide tower workers in the Thunderbird station. We're like, okay, well, maybe not today, but maybe it'll open tomorrow. Maybe we'll come back tomorrow and blah, 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 blah. And then we go and ride a different water slide, and it goes like kind of above Legend's turnaround. And we look down at Legend. They're actively retracking the coaster. There is steel missing from the wood stacks. We're like, well, shit, that ain't going to open today. There is not a chance on Got the Green Earth that's going to open. But maybe Thunderbird. There's at least some life over there. So we get out of the water park. A couple hours go by. Lo and behold, we see Thunderbird running cycles, and it opened. Awesome, amazing. And because it was down most of the day, they even kept it open like a half an hour or even an hour later at night. So even though the park closed at, I think, 8:00 that night, we ended up getting night rides. It was awesome. But after our first couple of rides on Thunderbird, we're walking up towards the front and what's new as you're walking in that direction is Legends Lift Hill. And I shit you not, there it was, cycling with people in it. These guys retracked a part of that ride, tested it however many times they need to test it, and opened it all in the same day. I was absolutely blown away, because they probably heard that there was a rough spot the night before, and they're like, well, we better fix that. Like, they could have easily said it's down for a week, and they made it happen. And it was really cool to see a park so invested in guest experience.
Because you see Cedar Point, and you're like, and then Holiday World is just right at that level, which is cool to see, because
this isn't a knock on Cedar Point or Kings Island or Universal or Dollywood, or there's a level of that guest experience that corporately owned parks just don't get to. That family owned Holiday World, Knoebels, Waldemere, it's a different world in those parks, and it's always fun to kind of see that side of the amusement industry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I love Holiday World. I can't say enough good things about that place. But and we saw some really good people there. Shout out to Don Helbig. We always joke that he used to put the dome up over Kings Island at Coaster Stock, and it seemed like maybe he did that at Holiwood Nights, because Saturday was supposed to be a complete washout, and then it wasn't. It ended up being an amazing day. So
yeah.
Well, guys, it's getting late. I know you had an awesome time at Holiwood Nights, but I'm even more excited for CoasterMania. And if I have any hope to get there, I need to leave now so I can pack and get out the door tomorrow. That's all I have. Have a good one.
Kyle, go pack. Can't wait to have you up here. Super excited for CoasterMania. Super excited for the food, the poster, the cruise, all that good stuff. See you next week.
Make sure that you follow us and share this podcast with all of your friends. Thanks, guys, for listening.
All right, that's going to do it from us. Take it away, Justin.
Thank you for listening to the Rundown on Fun. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all things Cedar Fair. As always, be kind to your ride operators, and we will see you on the Midway. Good night.